motion from council. So is there questions of the delegate? Councillor Robinson.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor. I guess my first question, hello there, Ms. Integrity Commissioner. My first question is, was Councillor Brenner, Cook, or Nagy present at the DDSB board meeting on May the 15th?
Through the mayor, the report is self-explanatory, and I'm not prepared to go into the details of the investigation at this time.
You can answer. I'm sure.
No, I think the answer
there.
is they were here. No, they were not.
No, she never answered. She never answered. You just answered that for her.
Anyway, let's continue, please.
So, okay, so the Integrity Commissioner could not answer that question, so she doesn't
No, I
know.
think she made her findings are in the report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So was Janice, if I may call you that, was school trustee Emma Cunningham present at the DDSB meeting on May the 15th in which I spoke?
Again, through the mayor, Councillor Robinson, I am not going to walk you through our investigation, who was where, who did what. The report speaks for itself. I think I've spoken in great detail of our findings. It's before council.
With all due respect, that is not in the report, and that's very important to know as to whether or not this is hearsay or double hearsay. So, you know, it's my reputation. I'm sorry, please don't roll your eyes at me. It is my reputation on the line because you are calling me transphobic and homophobic. So I would like to know, are you aware, was trustee Emma Cunningham?
The question's been posed.
She didn't answer the question.
She's indicated her findings are based on an investigation. Please go to the next question.
And regarding your investigation, did you speak to anyone on behalf of me in the investigation for your findings?
So through the mayor, Councillor Robinson, we met for, I believe it was over 2 hours at the Pickering Council offices. I don't have the date in front of me, but yes, we've spoken, we've communicated, we've received much correspondence from you over the course of these months. And yes, indeed, we did meet face to face. So.
Again, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, that wasn't the question. The question was, did you meet with anyone else to investigate, anyone that I asked you to speak with or investigate on my side, in my defense? Did you meet with anyone? You said you did a full investigation. Did that investigation include anyone that I asked you to investigate?
So through the mayor, again, Councillor...
Yes, you don't need to answer that. I've also indicated the role of council is not to conduct its own.
It's okay, everybody. But please, with all due respect, Mr. Mayor, I must assert that denying me the opportunity to ask these questions and to receive adequate answers is an unjust act, particularly considering the potential consequences. Please, nobody applaud until we're done, because I want to make sure that you guys are all here. Particularly considering that the potential consequences of these questions and the imposed sanctions, such as actions that may render me unable to fulfill my financial obligations, including housing and food for my family, I kindly request that your understanding and flexibility in granting me this latitude to address these concerns today. This is really, really important. And I think that, you know, if an investigation, please, just a moment. I believe that if there is an investigation.
I'm the chair.
Please.
I'm the chair. I'm trying to be respectful. I understand the emotion attached to this. I completely understand it. I'm going to give you the leeway to ask the questions. I do not, however, want you to enter into debate with the Integrity Commissioner. If you have questions of clarity of her findings, please pose those questions. We are not, as councillors, posed with the responsibility of doing our own investigation. So I'm giving you the latitude to pose your questions to the Integrity Commissioner, and I want you to do it in a respectful manner, which you've been doing up to now. So please continue.
So, Miss Integrity Commissioner, you mentioned that with the Universal Change Room, that there were no complaints that were brought forward immediately, and that I had brought my notice of motion on the May 1st regarding these two girls being minors and being followed into the Universal Change Room by a male member. And you seem to think that this is somehow transphobic and homophobic. I told you who you could speak to who asked me to bring this motion forward. And her name was Janice Frampton. She was a mayoral candidate running in the previous election. And on May the 1st, when we were sitting here in council chambers, she came up to me with another person who is here tonight and asked me to bring forward this because there was a school swim meet that was going on, and it was witnessed by the coach. These two girls went into the change room, the Universal Change Room, followed by a male member. You did not do your investigation and speak to them because you are still bringing it up, and I am up as being transphobic and homophobic for bringing forward a motion that a constituent has asked me to bring forward in which you did not properly investigate.
Councillor, we've gone into the debate now. Please continue with your questions.
Thank you. Regarding the Chestnut Hill Recreation Center, again, the complex, the Universal Change Room, have you ever been there?
That's not relevant. Please go
No,
on.
it is relevant.
Please go on. Please go on.
It's okay, everyone. With all due respect, Mr. Mayor, please just let me do my question because I will show how relevant this question is. Have you ever been to the Recreation Change Room, Janice?
So through the mayor, as I indicated, and maybe I should take a moment to explain, we have completed the investigation. And when we finished the investigation, we provided the councillor with a complete preliminary findings report, which is effectively the entire report, less the recommendation. So the councillor has had that complete report in hand for several weeks at this point. We are not prepared to go back through every step of an investigation. The findings are before you. It is the role of the Integrity Commissioner to sift through the evidence and make the determinations and largely interpret how the facts can be understood with regard to the expectations set out in the Code of Conduct. The Code of Conduct is council's policy, which it has adopted for itself. That's the role of the Integrity Commissioner. That's what's before you. And for these reasons, with the greatest of respect, Mayor Ashe, I don't think that the questions that Councillor Robinson is posing are questions that I would be prepared to answer this evening. I don't think they're relevant. The findings are before you.
Okay, again, sorry, but with all due respect, you may think they're irrelevant, but they're not. Regarding the Universal Change Room, I can assure you that you have not been there, else you would have answered me. And in saying that, when I brought this motion forward, I actually went to the Universal Change Room, and I can crawl under the door and I can crawl over the door. So as much as you are saying in my question is, in your report, you are saying that because the Universal Change Room has been revamped since COVID or since 2020, 2022, whatever it was, the date was that they redid it. Unfortunately, it is still not a safe place for children or for anyone to be changing, because if I, a grown woman, can crawl under the door, and I can also crawl over top or look over top. So I just wanted to let you know that that's what the Universal Change Room looks like, because I mean, you're telling me I'm transphobic and homophobic because of this. So to move on with my questions, how do you ensure that a thorough and unbiased investigation when you haven't spoken to any individuals who were present at the school board meeting or the security personnel? So again, Councillor Nagy, Councillor Cook, and Councillor Brenner, and school trustee Emma Cunningham were not present on the night that I was at the steps of the DDSB speaking with the people. So everything that you have in this report, or at least a majority of it, anything that is not what you hear me saying word for word directly in my video is nothing but double hearsay. It's not even hearsay, it's double hearsay. So the question was, how did you ensure a thorough and unbiased investigation when you haven't spoken to any individuals who were present at the school board meeting or the security personnel?
So through the mayor, just to clarify, we absolutely have spoken to a number of individuals, but I absolutely am not prepared to sit here tonight and respond and itemize for the councillor.
Is that not what with this whole entire dialogue of questions back and forth? I thought that's how this.
We're not really.
No, but these are questions. These are viable questions I'm taking from her report. These are questions from her report.
That's
Mr.
debating
Mayor.
the report.
No, I'm asking questions of the report.
Ask questions of clarity, please.
That was a question of clarity. Did she speak to anybody
I,
that was present at
please
school board
continue.
meeting or the security personnel? Okay, what steps did you take to distinguish between hearsay and reliable evidence while conducting your investigation?
Janice, you can feel free to answer that or not. So.
Yeah, I'm going to pass, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. There's one meeting. I'm the chair. If you don't like the rules, please leave. I've asked you a number of times to do that. I won't ask again.
All due respect, Mr. Mayor, my questions are directed to the Integrity Commissioner, and because so much is on the line, I would prefer if she would answer the questions as opposed to you.
You can ask questions of clarity. You're getting into debate about the findings. Ask questions of clarity.
That's a question of clarity.
Please,
what steps? I want to know what steps she took to distinguish.
Please continue.
Okay. Can you clarify the reasons behind not contacting any witnesses or gathering concrete evidence in this particular complaint?
I think that question's been asked
Nope.
and given. Please continue. Ma'am, you can please leave. Please leave. Mr. King, can you please get this? Thank you. Thank you. If anyone else doesn't want to respect the rules of this chamber, please leave now. The police are here if you need some assistance.
Okay, Janice, what measures are in place to protect the rights of the accused, being me, in an investigation where no witnesses or concrete evidence has been consulted?
So, Councillor Robinson, this is not a trial. You are not the accused. You are a respondent member against whom a number of complaints were filed. The matter was fully investigated. The findings are before council.
I understand that, but that wasn't my question. My question was, what measures are in place to protect the rights of the respondent, me?
Again, it's not a court of law, Councillor Robinson. You are not in court.
I know we're not in court, Ms.
You are before council.
I understand that. Thank you. But please can you please answer the question for me? I'd appreciate it.
Please continue.
Okay. How do you maintain the integrity and credibility of your investigation when you rely solely on hearsay evidence because it is lacking?
I think the question's been posed and answered. Please continue.
Regarding the incident where you referred to me as being a cisgender woman, can you explain why my gender identity was relevant to the discussion or to the complaint at hand?
Ms. Atwood, do you want to answer that or not?
No, through the mayor, I'm not sure that there are any questions of clarity that I've heard yet from Councillor Robinson she seems to believe she's conducting some kind of interrogation or trial, and that is simply not the case.
No, I'm just simply asking questions regarding the report, and I'm getting to, I will be getting to how I feel that you guys are biased, as we've already mentioned, because I've sent you 2 letters. So regarding the incident where you referred to me as being a cisgender woman, can you explain why my gender identity was relevant to the discussion or the complaint at hand?
Again, Mr. Mayor, I would suggest perhaps the counselor be advised to cut to the chase to make her statements if that's what she wishes to do, rather than put things in the form of questions that
You want to answer?
bear little relevance.
I gotta call for a 5-minute recess. I'm gonna talk with the clerk and the CEO of this and our solicitor.